Everyone has their own recipe for sleep. Maybe it's a warm glass of milk, a glass of wine after dinner, or a treasured afternoon nap. Some people swear by reading in bed, like my wife, others by counting sheep. But here's the mystery: which of these actually help, and which secretly make things worse, especially as we get older? And there's one thing I call the strongest non drug medicine for sleep, something you probably haven't thought much about, and it's completely free, and your doctor doesn't talk much about it either. We'll get to that soon, and I promise it's worth your attention. I also want to call out the elephant in the room: prescription medication, sleeping pills. Many of you are wondering about them. They are not a cure, and they're not the final answer, but sometimes they can act as a stepping stone and a reset button, something that helps to break a bad patch and restart your sleep rhythm. So we'll get into that later in the video as well. In the meantime, I'll share some of my own routines and what my wife does differently, along with what science now says. We'll look at the old wisdom and new tricks and even surprising technologies being tested today. By the end, you'll see which sleep habits are worth keeping and which may be holding you back. Let's start with the classics. Warm milk, a tradition across cultures. It doesn't chemically knock you out, but the warmth and ritual calm the body. This morning, I just had a patient that told me that she was having difficulty sleeping. She was waking up, and then she went out, made herself a hot cup of milk, and soon enough she fell asleep. And herbal teas like chamomile, lavender, valerian. Research is mixed, but the act of sipping a warm drink before bed sends a signal: it's time to rest. Personally, I like chamomile tea. So does my wife. And occasionally, if I'm a bit decadent, a hot chocolate. But not every night, just a little treat sometimes. Coffee. This one's tricky. A viewer recently commented on my first video about coffee's effect. And yes, it's fascinating. But for sleep, my rule is clear: no coffee after midday. The half-life of caffeine is around 5 hours. Drink it at 4 p.m. and half is still in your system at 9 p.m., sometimes even at midnight. Sleep may come, but it's lighter and more broken. I'll leave a link to that coffee video if you want to dive deeper into the secrets of coffee. Alcohol, that's another classic. A classic nightcap. It can help you nod off quicker, but it fragments sleep. It reduces deep sleep and often leads to early waking. A glass of wine with dinner is usually fine, but using alcohol as a sleep aid almost always backfires. Warm baths or showers. Now, this one science backs up. Heating up and then cooling down cues the brain that it's time to sleep. That drop in body temperature is surprisingly powerful. My own practice includes gentle stretching for 5 minutes, releasing the tension in the muscles built up during the day. I do this at night, but also in the morning when I wake up. It's now part of my routine, like brushing my teeth. Now let's talk about naps. Science says the perfect nap is 15 to 20 minutes, just long enough to recharge, not so long that it pushes you into deep sleep. But in reality, many older adults, myself included, sleep for 30 minutes. It feels better. And I still sleep well at night. Back in my working days, in my longer working days, I had a longer lunch break to let me have a power nap after a light lunch, and it recharged me for the second half of the day. My wife is different. She avoids naps altogether so that she can collapse into deep sleep at bedtime. And neither is wrong. The key is knowing yourself. Look at other cultures. We discussed that in my first video. In Spain and Latin America, siestas remain, usually short and early. And in China, midday naps are part of daily life for older adults. Studies have shown that short naps boost memory, but long naps in the elderly can sometimes signal poor health. In Japan, retirees weave in flexible short rests throughout the day, not in long blocks, in short periods. So naps aren't lazy, they are clever, and they are cultural. The trick is timing and length. Routines are powerful. Ever been told to count sheep? Yes, it distracts the mind, but better methods are relaxation, slow breathing, guided imagery, prayer, or meditation. I like to sing. If you're into singing, try to sing a scale with Do Re Mi, or meditate with a favorite psalm, like Psalm 23. And this connects to wisdom I shared in part 1, in video 1. Aboriginal elders, they see sleep and dreams as deeply spiritual, but they also value simple resting of the mind. Even awake, you can restore yourself by slipping into a daydream, a meditative state. The scale that I was telling you about is Do Re Mi. You hear the song, Do, a deer, a female deer, Re, a drop of golden sun, Mi, a name I call myself, far a long, long way to run, So, a needle pulling thread, La, a note to follow, so, Tea, a drink with jam and bread, and this leads me back to do, 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 do. I prefer this than counting sheep. Okay, let's move on. Sometimes moving to another room or a bed helps reset me. My wife winds down by reading after a busy day. That's her way of switching gears. A simple tip: also keep a playlist of calming music ready. If you are awake, reach for that instead of your phone. It keeps your brain in rest mode. Now, to the strongest non-drug medicine. Remember what I teased you at the start? The strongest non-drug medicine? Let's talk about it. And it's probably not what you expected. You won't find it in a bottle, a pill, or a fancy health store. It's simple and free, and available to almost everyone every day. It's light, morning sunlight to be exact. Step out for 20 to 30 minutes soon after waking. Your brain immediately gets the signal. This is daytime. It switches you from sleep mode to wake mode, sets your circadian rhythm, your body clock, and makes it easier to sleep at night. You don't have to run a marathon, just a morning walk, watering the plants, or even just sitting by a sunny window works very well. Even on a cloudy or rainy day, outdoor light is still stronger than indoor lamps. Evening light, though, can backfire. Phones, tablets, television, bright lamps, all that blue light tells your brain it's still daytime, and it delays your sleep. It makes it harder for you to wind down. And some of you might know that light therapy is used for depression, especially seasonal affective disorder. It is the same principle. When sunlight isn't available, a lamp can help signal your brain that it's morning, boost alertness, and support mood. The trick is to use it in the morning, ideally with a little movement, a walk around the house, stretching, or even morning chores. For most of us, morning light, natural or artificial, is strongest non-drug medication we have. It's completely free if you just step outside. Better nights are built during the day. Movement matters. A walk, tai chi, gardening, or stretching exercises. Connection matters. Loneliness and worry are hidden enemies of sleep. Purpose matters. Keep busy with things that give your day shape. Plan each week with activities, appointments, catch ups. A day that feels meaningful makes sleep come easier. If your day is empty, nights often become restless. So, purpose matters, movement matters. In part 1, I talked about using early mornings, chatting with a friend in another time zone, a modern net pal, pen pal. Just be cautious online. But if you find the right connection, those hours aren't wasted. They are alive with purpose. Finally, let's be honest about tablets. Many people fear them, and yes, long term they can cause problems. But sometimes, when nothing else works, a short course under medical supervision can break the cycle and restore your confidence. So here's my advice. If your doctor prescribes them, use them. Use them as directed, but also book a follow-up appointment. And while using this bridge to help you in a rough patch, start implementing the new habits, the new behaviors that I suggest above. Light, naps, routines, activities, relaxation. Even if your sleep improves, continue practicing what you have learned and make sleep part of a broader conversation, not just a prescription. So, what's the bottom line? Sleep in later life isn't about chasing the sleep you had at 20. It's about your rhythm, your routine, and reassurance. Morning light. Sun rises every day without fail. Evening dimness. Night comes as well. Naps, short and early. Rituals, habits that soothe, not confuse. A glass of wine with dinner. A glass of warm milk. Chamomile tea. But not as medicine, as your habit, as your ritual. None of this is brand new, but many of these ideas you've probably heard before. But it's the consistent, steady application that makes the real difference. Falling into the trap of chasing the next fancy strategy may be tempting, but the basics, light, rhythm, and purpose, are what truly count. Most of all, if you're awake at night, stay serene. Don't force sleep. Be kind to yourself. gentle relaxation, quiet prayer, daydreaming at night is fine, or moving to a different room can help you reset. With acceptance and small adjustments, older adults can absolutely enjoy restful, refreshing sleep. And I'd love to hear from you. Share with others what's worked for you when your sleep felt unsettled. Your tricks may help others. What routines, what rituals have helped you? But also share your struggles in the comments below. That way we can all learn and support each other in this journey of life. Thank you for listening. I'm Dr. Chris Ho, a skin cancer physician interested in health talk and everything health.